Good morning, everybody. It is now 4:15. I just finished eating my breakfast, which was 2 hamburger buns with some peanut butter, not a lot, and honey. And now I'm sipping on this carb mix, which is my typical raw fuel. Today, just going with the lemon flavor. I did a little bit of a heavier scoop today, like 2.5, just to get a little bit more carbs. With the total that I ate, the breakfast, that was around 100 grams of carbs, and then very little protein, very little fat. And then this is about 25 grams a scoop. So, we're looking at close to 75 grams in this bottle, because I don't know if I did any like full scoops or cut some short. I'm not used to triple scooping yet in training, and I'm not aiming to try anything new for the race, really. So it was more like 2.5 scoops. So that is my breakfast. Now that it's 4:15 and I've already eaten, I will likely spend some time stretching, doing a little bit of a warm-up. I just buzzed my neck beard. I'll brush my teeth, pack everything up. Then around 4:45, I'll start loading up the car. And then, so like my swim start is expected to be around, like the race starts at 6:20 with the pros. And depending on how fast they get out, usually age groupers start at like 6:30. It's a rolling start. And where I place myself in the swim, usually it takes like around 20 minutes to, get through the lineup for me to actually get in the water. So I'm feeling pretty good. Since our video last night, I did quite a bit of writing. Like I said that I would, and spent a good amount of time just relaxing, getting myself race ready. I was laying in bed, and obviously it was like super early. It was 8 o'clock, so I'm not the type to be able to fall asleep super early. So laying there, I was just running myself through my plan and what, like, the reasonable things that I expect from today, assuming my body performs as it should. And I was just, getting myself in the mindset. It was like I did a full, visualized run through of the race, believe it or not, because this is my third time on this course, and while I wasn't preparing aid station to aid station, I was doing at least the swim. I know exactly where I'm standing. I know where I'm lining up. I know where my transition bags and my personal needs bags are being placed, the morning bags. So my morning will be a bit easier knowing exactly where to go. There's not a lot of confusion about any of that stuff. And then once the race starts, when you line up at the appropriate time for your own swim finish, you know in and around when you'll finish the race, obviously, or when you'll finish the swim, because it's the shortest distance. And if you intelligently pick your swim start time, again, that's at the lineup. If you place yourself properly, then you'll finish around that time, and odds are slightly faster, just because of the race effect. And my videos keep cutting off because I have so many alarms scheduled. So the 4:15 went off just before the last segment, and that's how I knew it was exactly 4:15, because I had to restart the video. and then the 421 just went off and cut that video short at around 5 minutes, likely. Yeah, so here we are. Feeling pretty good. I've calmed down quite a bit from yesterday and last night. I'm definitely, everybody's different. Some people like to be around people, some people like to be by themselves. I definitely do and feel better by myself, oddly enough. Like, I have the space and the freedom to just do as I feel I need, because I think that if you're not in the sport, which, odds are, none of your family or spectators are in the sport, or at least more of them aren't than are. They feel like this desire to help you and to, do what you want and what you need and all that great and supportive stuff. Sometimes, if you're like me, I literally, the best thing that I can do is just sit in silence, relax, stretch. If I feel hungry, eat. If I don't feel hungry, just sip on some water, some drink, and really feel it out, because there's no, you don't know how you're going to feel any given moment, especially as you're preparing for your race. So you could be testing out a whole new strategy, and just every time that you go through it, it's more about feeling it out and seeing what works for you. So when people try to help or insert themselves, it can get a little bit stressful. So I'm guilty of getting a little bit stressed in those situations, especially leading into the race. So me being in a place like this, where I have my own apartment, it's the morning of, I'm going at my own pace, I don't have to think about anybody else, I don't have to worry about anybody else, I don't have to make anyone else feel better by accepting the help that I don't exactly need at the moment. Because, you want to, they're offering help, there's a party that wants to accept it, because it'll make them feel better. But in a race like this, where it's, this big, this important to me at least, I'd rather not have that sometimes, and just float around in my own head, relax, float around in my own space, and not really stress. So this last 12 hours, I'll call it, just being alone and relaxing has been really good to get me in the right mindset for this race. So now what I have to do is, again, stretch. I'll put my tri-suit on, make sure that I put plenty of chamois cream so that I don't chafe on the bike if it stays through the swim. I'm also gonna pre-Vaseline certain areas that are likely to chafe later on. And hopefully, the petroleum jelly is going to be a bit more resilient in the water, so less likely to get washed away during the swim, especially with the wetsuit on and the tri-suit on. And then just cross my T's and dot my I's. Once again, it's a cold morning, so I'm basically going to be leaving this apartment with this outfit, sweatshirt, sweatpants, socks, and slides. And this is what I'll be wearing over my tri-suit for most of the morning until I, go walk over to the transition station, check my bike, make sure the bike's doing good, drop off my water bottles into my bottle case, just put another water bottle um, in my bike bag, put another water bottle in my run bag, this one, because I'd rather run with like one of these bottles than just a plastic one, and then drop off my personal needs bags. I got a new race belt that I have to stick in my run bag, and then gotta find out if it's wetsuit legal this morning, which I hope it is, because it's 60 degrees out there and it's freezing. I'm freezing. So I would like to wear my wetsuit and be nice and warm and get that added buoyancy benefit. If not, it's not the end of the world, but that's the plan. That's the goal, and this will likely be the last check-in before the race, and then you'll see how I did after that. Actually, you'll probably see it all together. So I'll see you after the race.